के एक है प्रतिध्वनि आरोहण। प्रतिध्वनि वो है जो कि इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट ने पिछले दशकों में जो एडवर्टिजमेंट्स दिए हैं उनसे आपको ये पता चलेगा। हम ये बताने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि उनसे डिपार्टमेंट की नीति किस तरह बदली है और किस तरह करदाताओं ने करदान करके और विभाग ने अपना कार्य करके योगदान किया है। और दूसरी है आरोहण, जो कि फिर आयकर विभाग की प्रगति, देश की प्रगति के साथ बताती है, जिसमें इस विभाग का नेतृत्व जिन लोगों ने किया है उन लोगों के बारे में भी डिस्कशन किया गया है। इसके अलावा हम लोगों ने एक वीडियो फिल्म बनाया है जो कि साल दर साल किस तरह आयकर विभाग ने और आयकर दाताओं ने देश के योगदान में सहयोग किया है, उसके बारे में बताया जाएगा। इस कार्यक्रम के एक हिस्सा है जो बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है, वो है कि हम लोग एक सैंड आर्ट बनवा रहे हैं। एक बहुत प्रसिद्ध अपने देश के सैंड आर्टिस्ट हैं श्री सुदर्शन पटनायक, तो उनके साथ योगदान करके टैक्सेस एंड द नेशनल डेवलपमेंट के ऊपर ये सैंड आर्ट होगा, जो कि 11 तारीख को माननीय फिनांस मिनिस्टर उसे देश को अर्पित करेंगी। बच्चों के लिए जो हम लोगों ने बनाया है वो एजुकेशनल सीरीज़ का एक हिस्सा रहेगा। एनसीईआरटी से भी बात की गई है और वो उनके पोर्टल दीक्षा पर भी रिलीज़ होने के बाद में वो रखेंगे, जिसमें हम लोगों ने गेम्स बनाए हैं, पजल्स बनाए हैं और एनिमेटेड वीडियो सीरीज़ रखे हैं, जो कि बच्चों को ये समझाने का प्रयत्न करेंगे कि पैसा क्या होता है, उसमें से टैक्स का हिस्सा क्या होता है, टैक्स दिया जाना चाहिए और कैसे टैक्स देश के योगदान में एक बहुमूल्य रोल निभाते हैं। तो ये हम लोगों के कार्यक्रम के बारे में संक्षिप्त में मैं जानकारी देना चाहूँगी। धन्यवाद।
Chairman, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon to all. Although CBIC has also planned and organized a large number of events across its field formations all over the country, I would like to highlight 3 of the iconic events that we are going to do in the iconic week, starting with the dedication of the National Museum for Customs and GST to the nation by the Honorable Finance Minister on the 11th of June. The museum is in Goa and it exhibits the history of both customs and indirect taxation in India through a variety of exhibits, including some of the antiquities that Customs Department have seized over a period of time, the unique modus operandi that smugglers have been using over a period of time to smuggle goods into the country, and how we've tried to overcome those. It also depicts, very importantly, the journey of GST, starting from the pre-GST discussions, the role of central excise as a precursor and service tax as precursors to GST. And takes a viewer through, what has been the change in our working methods over a period of time, with more emphasis on digitization, etc. So that is one of the iconic events. The second one, which I would like to talk about, is the observance of the Drug Destruction Day on the 8th of June. This is going to happen at various locations across the country. We have seized and confiscated stocks of narcotic drugs. It could be heroin, cocaine, or any other precursor chemicals, etc., which we've seized over a period of time. From time to time, we destroy the stock, and we're going to do a coordinated destruction on the 8th of June to signify, the government's initiative to move towards a drug-free India. नशा मुक्त भारत का जो स्लोगन है सरकार ने देश को दिया है, उसको सिग्निफाई करने के लिए हम ये ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे हैं. This is very much a part of our customs working also. And the third important event that I would like to talk about is the initiation of a lecture series by eminent persons on different aspects of the economy and taxation. We plan to organize 6 such lectures over the next 1 year. And the starting point would be a lecture by Dr. Shaktikant Das, RBI Governor, on Indian business, past, present and future. This will be held at Mumbai on the 9th of June, and it will be webcast live not only to our field formations but across the country. So those are some of the highlights, and of course there are many other events that the field formations will organize. Thank you.
Secretary Financial Services, please.
Thank you, sir, and good afternoon, everyone. So the Department of Financial Services will be organizing 3 major events during this iconic week. On the 6th, as part of the Honorable PM's event, a credit-linked portal for 13 schemes of 8 government departments will be launched. This will enable the beneficiaries to have one view of various schemes. Going forward, we plan to increase the number of schemes and include in its ambit all credit-linked government schemes. So it provides a unified view of the various credit-linked government schemes that a beneficiary can avail of. And at the same time, this portal will also enable the banks to process these applications. So it's an end-to-end application. The other distinguishing feature of this application will be that it is integrated with a number of other portals like Udayam of MSME, GSTN, the income tax related data of CBDT, and even UIDAI. So this portal the launch of this portal will be on 6th. Other than this, we have 2 more events on the 8th in all the district headquarters, barring those where the Model Code of Conduct is being is in force. Over there, there will be a credit outreach program, basically covering 4 themes. One is enrollment under various government programs, especially the protection schemes, the Jan Suraksha schemes, the credit outreach of various credit-linked government schemes. Thirdly, financial literacy. And fourthly, recognition for the fleet on ground, especially the last mile workers of the like the business correspondents. Thirdly, on 9th at Delhi in Vigyan Bhavan, we will be organizing a conference on the working of the debt recovery tribunals and the DRATs, basically to review their functioning and how to improve and enhance efficiency and expedite disposal. Thank you.
Secretary Economic Affairs, please.
Thank you, Dr. Somnathan, and thank you to all of you for assembling here today. The first major event would be a release of a special series of circulatory coins of 5 denomination. That Honorable Prime Minister has agreed to release those coins on 6th of June. And I'll underline, these are circulatory coins, not commemorative coins. So these will be widely available to the public at large and immediately would be made available through the banking channels. And so that then the people are using it, they can immediately connect with the 75th year of our independence. Thereafter, on 8th of June, there would be programs in Vigyan Bhavan starting at 9:30 in the morning, wherein there will be a symposium with 2 working sessions, and a symposium focusing on Jagruk Niveshak, Samrat Bharat Ki Neev. And the 2 working sessions would be on emergence of women investors in security markets, and the second session being on growth of Indian retail investors, challenges in becoming an informed investor. With these 2 sessions, the first part of the program will conclude, and in the next part will focus more macro level. It will be India's economic journey at 75 and then moving into the Amrit Kal, and that will start with a release of a film by Finance Minister on development of security markets in India in these 75 years, followed by an event which is happening, rushes of the events which would be happening from 6th of June onwards in 75 cities. If you recall that last month Finance Minister has launched NSDL's program initiative for Market Ka Eklavya. That was program happened in Mumbai. Now that will be taken to 75 cities and connect with the people, and some of the glimpses of those events will be screened there. The third one would be followed by that India at this point of time is providing a very significant amount of assistance to other countries who are in need of it for their development journey. And that program is called India Development and Economic Assistance Scheme. And there, the IT portal of that scheme called Netra, new e-tracking and remote administration website, would be launched by Finance Minister, followed by a short film on externally aided projects wherein India accesses funding from multilateral and bilateral development agencies for infrastructure development as well as for social sector development in India, and what it has meant and how it has led to various areas of development. That a short film will be done, and that will be concluded by address by Finance Minister. So these are the events which are planned for 8th of June. Thank you.
Joint Secretary, Department of Public Enterprises, please.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. Department of Public Enterprises, with the support of Central Public Sector Enterprises and in association with SCOPE, is organizing a number of events during the week. One of the major events planned is an exhibition on nation building and CPSCs at Mahatma Mandir, Gandhinagar. The exhibition will showcase contributions of CPSCs towards self-reliance. Honorable Finance Minister has consented to participate in the inaugural session on 9th of June. The Chief Minister of Gujarat has also been invited to join the inaugural function. The exhibition will then be open to public from 10th to 12th June. Alongside the exhibitions, we have planned a CEO conference, a roundtable, for deliberating on role of CPSCs for a self-reliant India. A series of workshops on the issues of corporate social responsibility, with a special focus on aspirational districts, procurement from micro and small enterprises, and through GEM. The workshops aim to provide a platform to all stakeholders to come together and discuss their experience and issues involving further growth. During this week, CPSCs will undertake Pan-India Plantation Drive, in which 75,000 saplings are planned to be planted in their offices, townships, production units, etc. Some of the CPSCs will also initiate activities relating to conversion of their townships into mini smart cities. Parameters mainly relating to environment sustainability like green energy, smart street lights, water conservation, and recycling, etc., have been identified by Ministry of Housing and Urban Development for calling a township as mini smart cities. These activities will be undertaken in these cities. 15 CPSCs have planned to convert their 27 townships into mini smart city during up to 15th August 2023. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Secretary, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. we have been organizing these events on various themes as highlighted by the Finance Secretary. All 360 programs have been organized by Ministry of Corporate Affairs so far and with various organizations. And during the Iconic Week celebration, we have lined up a bouquet of events for the entire week from 6th to 12th of June. I'll just mention a few of them quickly. On 6th of June, there will be focus on the corporate governance in collaboration with National Foundation of Corporate Governance. We will have a number of corporate leaders and other stakeholders from all over the country to cover various topics like MSMEs, family businesses, and new paradigm for corporate governance for startups, etc. On 7th of June, we'll have the Honorable Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs at Vigyan Bhavan. It is an iconic day for the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. There, we will be having release of a short film on the journey of corporate governance. There will be a release of postal stamp on financial literacy and investor awareness. There will be investor oath covering 75 locations across the country simultaneously. We will be launching the National Corporate Social Responsibility CSR Exchange Portal to bring all the stakeholders on one single platform. There will be release of various publications. There will be a release of compendium on CSR, distribution of awards or for various events which have actually taken place prior to this iconic week. A special window facility will also be launched for senior citizens above 75 years of age for availing refund from IPF authority. Then there will be many technical sessions on that day in collaboration with various organizations like IPF authority, IBPI, IICA, professional institutes, Competition Commission of India, and the day will be rounded up with a plenary session on with all the regulatory authorities. On other days, in fact, all other organizations, they are also participating in various events and all across the country with the theme of Jan Bhagidari. We'll be having, in fact, Padyatras, tree plantations, and all the other events to have the involvement of people. Various competitions will be organized. There will be exhibitions also being organized by the various organizations. And the final day, in fact, on 12th of June, we will be culminating the program at Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs in Maneshwar, and will be discussion on themes like CSR best practices, impactful CSR, and there will be exhibition on CSR practices also will be organized on that day. All these events during the Mahotsav will provide opportune time for discussion, dialogue, interaction. It will also help us in reviewing, revisiting, and plan ahead for the future, that is for India at 100. Thank you all, and I request you for joining us for all these events during the iconic week from 6th June to 12th June.
Secretary, Investment and Public Asset Management.
Good afternoon. आज़ादी के अमृत महोत्सव की श्रृंखला में आइकॉनिक इवेंट दीपम के द्वारा 10 तारीख को 4 बजे किया जाएगा, जिसमें विज्ञान भवन के अलावा 75 शहरों में, जिसमें सभी राज्य और यूनियन टेरिटरीज शामिल हैं, वहाँ ये कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑर्गेनाइज की जाएगी और उसका थीम है क्रिएटिंग वेल्थ थ्रू मार्केट्स। इसको ऑनरेबल फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर और ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट फाइनेंस के द्वारा संबोधित किया जाएगा। उसमें एक दीपम के विषय में एक छोटी फिल्म रिलीज़ की जाएगी जो कि सभी भाषाओं में, रीजनल भाषाओं में भी उपलब्ध होगी। इसमें एमिनेंट स्पीकर्स होंगे, जिसको फाइनेंशियल एक्सपर्ट्स, प्रोफेशनल्स, बैंकर्स, इन्फ्लुएंसर्स, और उसमें ब्रॉडली 5 थीम्स डिस्कस किए जाएंगे। ग्रोथ ऑफ इंडियन कैपिटल मार्केट्स इन द पास्ट 75 years, women as rising independent investors, role of government and other market players in improving market confidence, financial literacy, a road to financial well-being, or future of Indian capital markets in the Amrit Kal up to India at 2047. इस फिल्म के द्वारा हम न्यू पीएससी पॉलिसी के बारे में भी चर्चा करेंगे और हमें आशा है कि इससे वाइडर वे में हम लोग 75 लोकेशंस पे एक साथ ये डिस्कशन होगी। तो पहले फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर और मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट फाइनेंस का एड्रेस हो जाएगा जो कि लिंक होगा और उसके बाद अलग अलग जगह में इसकी चर्चा होगी। धन्यवाद।
Okay, we'll now take some questions, but it is requested that the questions may be limited to or restricted to the subject, today's subject. Thank you. Number 10.
While this is not related with the subject today, this event, the week celebration that we are will be assembling together, putting all these programs together of our journey of 75 years, and we are proud that where we are, but still a lot of challenges for the future. So I take your question in the context that we have challenges. Obviously, we have challenges, some short-term, some long-term. But in that context, the strength which India has built over a period of 75 years, I'm confident that we can overcome the current challenges as well as the challenges which may come to us in the coming years in the Amrit Kal, so as to reach the golden period of our economic journey. But coming to your specific question which you have asked, that there are strong global headwinds which has got impact on the economy, which is impacting all countries. And without getting into too many specifics, now I'll again reiterate that aspect that today we have the strength to bear with those headwinds. But yes, when the headwinds are there, the pace of growth this happens throughout the global phenomena which happens. But yes, even in spite of those, India is poised to grow the fastest among all large countries in the world. That was the position 6 months back, and that remains our assessment even today. Thank you.
Number 24.
Good afternoon. This question is either for Dr. Somanathan or Mr. Seth. Sir, this is related to this 75 years Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And this is something the finance minister also touched upon. She spoke about an Amrit Kal budget, and also the fact that this government has really cleaned up the books and brought off-budget borrowings over the line and has proven to be fiscally responsible. So coming to this year, sir, there will be a hit on the revenues of the central government because of the excise duty cuts and other measures. Plus expenditure will also be stressed because of food and fertilizer and other such factors. So in light of all that, what revenue augmentation measures can the government take, and what measures can the government take to cut down on inefficient expenditure and other such things to maintain the fisc this year?
So I request you to attend several of those seminars. You will find out.
Number 106.
मैं ऐसे मासिक इन दिनों से हमारा सवाल ये है कि आप जो आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव बना रहे हैं, जिसमें 75 साल के डेवलप जो किया है, जैसे जो सरकार की स्कीमें हैं, लोन्स की, वेंडर्स की, अदर्स की, उसमें अवेयरनेस फैलाने के लिए भी इसमें कोई प्रोग्राम है?
मेरे ख्याल से आपने जो प्रश्न किया है वो ये है, यदि मैं सही समझा हूँ, कि जो भिन्न हमारी सरकारी योजनाएं हैं, विशेषकर जो ऋण संबंधी योजनाएं हैं, उनके प्रचार प्रसार के लिए भी क्या हम इस सप्ताह में कोई कार्यक्रम आयोजित कर रहे हैं या नहीं कर रहे हैं। उसके बारे में जैसे कि मैंने अपने प्रारंभिक उद्बोधन में कहा था, तो 8 तारीख को हम सभी जिला मुख्यालयों के ऊपर एक कार्यक्रम आयोजित कर रहे हैं, जहाँ पे जो विभिन्न लाभार्थी जो हैं या जो संभावित लाभार्थी हो सकते हैं, उनके साथ में मिल कर के और इन योजनाओं के बारे में हम उनको बताएंगे, और साथ ही साथ इन योजनाओं के जो लाभार्थी हैं उनको लाभ देंगे या उन लाभों के लिए हम उनको उसमें नामांकित करेंगे, उनको एनरोल करेंगे, और साथ ही साथ जिन्होंने अच्छा कार्य किया है इन योजनाओं में उनको हम सम्मानित भी करेंगे। तो इस प्रकार से इस कार्यक्रम के तहत हम इन योजनाओं के बारे में अधिक जानकारी सभी जन सामान्य तक पहुंचाने का प्रयास करेंगे। धन्यवाद।
Number 6.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Pushpita from Money Control. So for the 75th year of independence, as you mentioned that you have a lot of schemes to be announced, but we have seen in the recent times government has already taken the initiatives, a couple of initiatives to tackle with the inflation. But as a part to celebrate 75th anniversary, is there any other measures or initiatives to be taken in near future?
Again, your question that for maintaining economic stability with good growth, whatever measures are taken, that as a fiscal authority, all measures government has been taking, not just on the fiscal side, but even logistic level issues which come up from time to time, those are being addressed. And whatever the new challenges may come up in the future, we are at it and government is taking action on those.
Thank you, sir.
Number 45.
Sir, Girish from Mint. Sir, I would like to know from you, today the world has several challenges like climate change, need for sustainable development, rising income inequality, and also an increase in probably, poverty level due to the pandemic impact. So has there been any discussion within the government to, address these in the next 25 years and any possible reform or economic milestones to be achieved in the next 25 years? Thank you.
Good question. There are a number of discussions which are underway. There are in fact several sectoral groups of secretaries which are looking at what is the way forward for the Amrit Kal, the next 25 years. How does the government and the people together, how do we take this country forward over the 25 years? There are a lot of challenges. You have referred to several of them. There are different sectoral groups of secretaries which are looking at this strategic vision for the next quarter century. And all the issues you have mentioned are covered by one or other of those groups. And during this year, the events that some of them in the iconic week and some outside, we have a number of fora where there are going to be extensive deliberations on many of these topics. And it is one of the intentions of this iconic week is to solicit inputs from the general public, from experts, from those who know, those who have a viewpoint, to integrate all of them, and the sectoral groups of secretaries will actually use these inputs in preparing their formulations on what can the government do and who else should do what over the next quarter century.
Okay, Sunil, 267.
Sir, I just wanted to ask you about, the big challenge, of course, is fiscal deficit in the short term and long term, what Secretary, Department of Economic Affairs was saying. But Mr. Somnathan, if you can tell us where do you want the fiscal deficit in 100 years and immediately, especially in the backdrop of, what has happened of the petrol excise duty and everything else.
In 100 years, we want a fiscal surplus.
And immediately in the backdrop of what has happened.
He has already answered.
Okay, Sapna 125.
My question is on disinvestment. I'm going to ask it very broadly, sirs. Up to you to answer. So by the time India turns 75, can we expect some progress on the banking amendment laws in terms of bank privatization, because the top echelon of the government seems to be indicating that they're very confident of going through with it, number one. Number two, sir, also HZL has got cabinet approval. There will be some kind of pressure in terms of trying to meet, the relief package that has been offered to battle inflation. So there is going to be renewed pressure on disinvestment, despite the fact your BE is much lower this year. So would you like to go ahead with the HZL sometime this year, sir, very broadly?
I think, basically, I think if you have said that event, we are going to discuss the new PSC policy in the context of new PSC policy. I think there is, what we are looking at is a more strategic vision, and not really purely, in this next 3 months, what we are going to do. There will be occasion for discussion on that topic later. Yeah. Next 1 year as well. So, I mean, those transactions will be carried forward, whatever transaction governments are announcing, and as we go along. But the purpose of the discussion is more like strategic, because new PSC policy itself will take a while to be implemented. And of course, if you really look at the Amrit Kal, then of course that the whole thing should have been completed by the time.
Number 87. 87.
Hello. See, insofar as the banking privatization is concerned, there is already a statement on the floor of the House by the Honorable Finance Minister for making the enabling provisions. There is advanced action which has been taken for doing the same.
Hello, sir. I'm Ashutosh from Fortune magazine. Sir, as far as this great outreach program is concerned, as a part of the Iconic Week celebration, has any target been set up? What is the amount that is likely to be given out? Any target?
What kind of target are you saying? I am not able to follow your question.
For the credit outreach program.
The credit portal that you're talking. Okay, that is. Yeah.
No, see, there is no specific target for the credit portal. These are schemes of other government departments. So, what targets they have set for themselves under those particular schemes, I will not be having the details. They always have, yearly targets under those particular schemes, and the banking sector and the Department of Financial Services will support those departments in meeting the individual targets.
Many of these schemes do have government subsidies associated with them, but today they are in different, you have to apply through different entry points in different ministries. This will bring all of them into a single portal, so an applicant can see which schemes are available to him based on his eligibility, and then get the whole thing processed through a single portal, and it's linked, as he said, to the back end of the different agencies that have to process the applications. But the schemes themselves remain separate, and as he said, each one has its own target.
105.
States to tackle this problem, and any program is being taken, because this is a very great sword the Supreme Court has told. What will be the future of GST? Are you taking any program for this purpose, sir?
I think the Revenue Secretary has already clarified that the Supreme Court judgment does not fundamentally alter the law on GST. So I think we will leave it here for today. If you have any questions on the Azadi program, please ask them.
267.
As we know that PM has always said that it is citizens first, and as we enter the Amrit Kal, how do we plan to reduce the tax burden on citizens? Is there any proposal to ease out the tax rates and expand the tax base so that more people come under the tax system and the rates can be reduced, so that especially the middle class can get some relief?
We intend to use all the inputs that we get when we develop budgets in the years to come. And the sectoral groups of secretaries are also seized of this matter, and we are looking forward to very interesting inputs over this week.
Thank you, friends. We close the press conference now. Thank you to all the dignitaries on the dais. Thank you.